Hey, my little biscuits. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. If there's something preventing you from achieving your goals or something interfering with your happiness, check out BetterHelp.com/unfazed. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. Connect in a safe, private online environment. It's so convenient you can start communicating in under 48 hours. I want you to start living your best life, girls. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at BetterHelp.com/unfazed. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp.com/unfazed. Hey, my little biscuits. Today's episode is sponsored by ShipStation. The holidays are here, the most wonderful time of the year. Unless you're running an online business, then this is the most hectic time of the year. Between growing your business, managing inventory, and juggling orders, you've got a lot going on this holiday season. Make shipping the easiest part of your day with ShipStation. I love ShipStation because I know I'm getting the best possible deal out there, and I don't have to deal with the post office. They literally ease everything frustrating about shipping. It's never too early to start preparing for the holiday rush, so get a head start with ShipStation. Visit ShipStation.com/unfazed for a 60-day free trial just in time for the holidays. That's 2 months of stress-free holiday shipping. Just go to ShipStation.com/unfazed for a 60-day free trial. ShipStation. Make ship happen. Welcome the fuck back, bitches, to Unfazed and Unbothered. I'm Camo. Hey.
I'm Tasia. I just wanted to start off by saying that I will be wearing my mugshot t-shirt in every podcast episode from now on.
Every day of the rest of your life.
I am, because it's so cute. Look at the hickeys on my neck. Yes, ma'am, work. If y'all want to get my mugshot t-shirt, it is going to be on www.tasia.shop. Please check it out, queens. Please check it out, girl. Okay, thank you and God bless you. Okay, so on today's episode, we're going to be talking about how sexy I am. I'm too sexy for yo, girl. I mean, I really am. But no, we're going to be talking about self-care. Mm-hmm. And what was the other topic? Being a bad bitch. Okay, period.
Being a bad bitch, per.
So that's what we're going to talk about. So for me, I'm just going to start off by saying... Fuck what you got to say. I'm just going to start off by saying self-care for me is definitely this is just an every couple week thing. Like, my lashes have to be done, even though people come for me about my lashes when they be falling out and I be looking like half on, half off, but whatever. I own that shit and I rock that shit. You know what I'm saying? But my lashes, my hair, mm-hmm. my nails, my toes, my asshole. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like, all that has to be done. But sometimes, like, I feel like self-care, because, for example, with me, like, I have Greenlee mm-hmm. and I'm pregnant. Sometimes that's not long enough. And so I'm like, is it really self-care, queen? Because, like, I'm still, by the time.
Wait, what?
Is it still considered self-care? Because when I think of self-care, I think about peace and serenity.
Self-care is different for everybody. Like, paying your bills is self-care because you're, like, getting shit done. You are taking care of responsibilities. That is self-care. It removes stress from your life. There's so many different ways to self-care. There's really no right or wrong way to self-care. Self-care for me really just is whatever would make you comfortable or make you feel better. And girl, when my bills are paid and I'm able to shop, I'm feeling great. You know
okay, period.
So yeah.
That's definitely self-care for me.
Yeah, no, we like to shop. Retail therapy, girl.
I do like to read, but it's hard to read when you're a mom. Because, like...
you say you read. I've never seen you read.
Okay, well, I read in prison. So, I'm a reader.
She's always like, I love to read. I really love to read. And I'm like, I've never seen you pick up a goddamn book.
It's just something about, like, picking up a book and just, like, not reading it. It's like...
just having... Okay, I can relate because I have, like, 30 books and, bitch, I've not read any of them.
It's like the way that they look. So beautiful. So beautiful. They look so cute.
They look like house. I'm intelligent.
No, but the thing is like, I really do like to read. It's just, I can't sit down and read. So the only time that I was ever forced to sit down was in prison. And so I had all the time in the world. I think I read like a series in a day. But you know what I mean? Like, I had no life in there, girl.
Yeah, what else? I mean,
I think I starved the whole day too. Like, I never got up for food, no nothing. I was reading. Thank you. Don't fucking disturb me, bitch. No, but yeah, no, every time me and my husband, like, we'll go to like a store, I'm like, oh, the books.
Let's go to the books.
Like, yesterday we went to Target and I was looking at these books and I was like, this sounds really good. I'm sitting here thinking, when are you going to fucking read that? Because
okay,
as soon as
we
you start
have bought
opening
books together at least 3 times. We've never fucking read them.
I know, it's sad, but the idea of doing so, it's so pleasing to me. Like, I'm serious. Like, having it makes me feel so good. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but so we're at Target and I'm in the book section and I'm like, this book looks so cute. I'm holding it like a baby in my arms and I'm like, she would look so cute in our home. But I had to put her back because I'm like, bitch, I'm not going to read this because as soon as I start reading it, Green's going to be like, mommy, mama, eat, bite. So I'm like, fuck this book. I'll read it in 30 years. But anyways, it's just the point of like, the thought or something, and they look so cute, like the way that they dress them up, the colors. Very good job. These authors out here killing it. But that would be self-care for me too, but it's just hard for me to focus too. I can't even lie. Like, I've tried to read like while my husband's watching TV and I just want to I literally open it and I want to throw it at the wall already. It just bothers me. Like, I can't see her.
No, focus. I wouldn't be able to do that if I heard other like noises in the background.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I would have to be straight up by myself to read a book.
But you're always by yourself, Queen.
Bitch, I just don't like to read.
How does it feel to know that like you live your life for yourself? Like, that's it. You don't have to worry about really nothing else.
Okay, what a question. I love it. Sometimes I'm like, man, if only I was booed up. But these men are trash, so I'm like, actually, I'm not really tripping on it. But no, like, I don't have to answer to nobody. I don't have to fucking check in with nobody. I don't have to be like, hey, babe, I'm doing this. No, bitch, I'm doing this because I want to motherfucking do it. And so I do like that. It's nice. I really enjoy my solitude. Like, I'll go to the park by myself. Like, on the topic of self-care, that is self-care to me. I go to parks specifically somewhere near water. Like, I'm just crazy. I'm a fire sign, but I'm so attracted to water. Water signs. All my besties are Pisces. Like, literally 4 of you bitches are all Pisces. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm a magnet for some goddamn Pisces. But I love water, and I love being, like, near waterfalls or just bodies of water, period. Water. But I love to write. That's self-care for me also. I love going to a spa. Wow. Jeju.
We need to get a massage soon.
Girl, let's go to Jeju.
How far is that?
It's off Pleasant Hill. It's like a little 30-minute drive.
That's far.
Well, girl, you live in the fucking boondocks.
And I do. And what about it?
I don't think they have, well, they might have fucking sun massage, but Jeju, for anybody who doesn't know what Jeju is a Korean day spa. I love Korean day spas. They are like a facility that's open 24/7 all year round, and you pay an entrance fee. Most of them are like $25 to $30. You pay it, you get in, and you can utilize the whole facility. Now, if you want some extra shit like your toes done, you want a massage, you want acupuncture, any of that shit, you're going to pay extra, obviously. But I love to go. I go to Jeju so much. It's like it really calms me down. Or like if I've had like a stressful day, like everyone in there is butt ass naked. And you can get in the fucking hot tub, butt ass naked. Just relax, wind down. They have showers. They have steam rooms. They have dry saunas. They have ice rooms. They have ice water. Like, you can get in. Like, it's a lot. And then, obviously, you can get a massage. I love getting body scrubs. Like, they'll scrub your whole body down with, like, fucking sandpaper. And you will leave feeling raw the next day. But girl, like, your skin is so soft and smooth and gorgeous and velvety, and you ain't got no dead skin whatsoever. And then they'll massage you. And girl, it's just heavenly, honestly. That's self-care for me. I spend all my money going to spas.
Yeah, that's like I should have. I feel like I should have been getting like a prenatal massage because my back hurts a lot. I'll be like, babe, rub my back, and he'll be like, will you rub mine? And I'm like, no, I
Not
won't.
now, not during
No,
this pregnancy, babe.
no, no, it's all about me. No, but like if I don't know what it is about being pregnant. If I like sit up like in this position all day, or if I'm standing on my feet, it's something about the baby like being a certain way in my stomach for too long. My back starts fucking hurting. So for the people
My
that
back's fucked, period, regardless.
for the people that have back labor, God bless y'all. And I really hope I don't have that shit. That shit fucking
Back
hurt.
labor?
Yeah, like some people have labor like they have more pain like in their back or whatever. I didn't have that, but I also couldn't feel shit because I had like 2 epidurals because I'd be like doing too damn much. So if I even feel like a little bit of anything, I'm like, it's not working, help! Because I didn't want to feel nothing. I was terrified. So I'm hoping that it goes that way this time. If not, then I will scream. I will scream. Do you know who I am? I'm Nicki Minaj. I'm serious. Give me the fucking epidural.
Bitch, speaking of your last pregnancy, I remember sleeping on the floor. Do you remember that? I was sleeping on the fucking floor.
Oh, waiting for a green girl to come?
Yeah, girl, I slept on the floor. Talk about back.
I was
dedication, bitch. I was there.
I was in labor for 31 hours.
Yeah, girl.
I was fucking starving. But anyways, we need to go on a little break. And
it's time, girl.
Right back.
Toodles.
Hey, my little biscuits. Today's episode is sponsored by ShipStation. The holiday season is amongst us, the most wonderful time of the year. But if you're running an online business, you know it's also the most hectic time of the year. Between growing your business, managing inventory, and juggling orders, you've got a lot going on this holiday season. Make shipping the easiest part of your day with ShipStation. I love ShipStation because I know I'm getting the absolute best deal possible and I don't have to deal with the post office. They really ease everything frustrating about shipping. So listen, girls, it's never too early to start preparing for the holiday rush. So get a head start with ShipStation. Visit our sponsor, shipstation.com/unfazed for a 60-day free trial just in time for the holidays. That's literally 2 months of stress-free holiday shipping for free. Just go to shipstation.com/unfazed for a 60-day free trial. ShipStation. Make ship happen. Hey, my little biscuits. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I've been using BetterHelp now for what feels like a long periodically time. It's been very cute and gorgeous having a actual professional to speak to and help me work through my issues. I've loved BetterHelp because it's convenient. I don't have to leave my house and deal with anybody in an office. That was like the biggest stressor for me, having to fill out paperwork and deal with a human being, but I don't have to worry about that anymore because I can literally open my phone and schedule a session with my therapist. So if there's something preventing you from achieving your goals or something interfering with you and your happiness, check out betterhelp.com/unfazed. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. Connect in a safe, private online environment is so convenient. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. So listen, girls, I want you to start living your best life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/unfazed. Join over 1 million people who've taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/unfazed.
That's perfect.
Motherfucking dude, bitches, we are back. Hey. So while we're on the topic of self-care, I've had several messages this week of people being like, I love how y'all talk about positive mindset and spirituality and manifestation. Can you, dive in a little deeper? So that does kind of go hand in hand with self-care for me, because I do love to do like I am affirmations. Like even this morning, like I had a little moment in my rearview mirror. I was like, you are that bitch. You're a bad bitch. You have to talk positively to yourself. You set yourself up for failure when you are hard on yourself, when you are telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I won't, it'll never happen. Well, yeah, you're right, it won't ever happen because you got that mindset. It all starts with you. And so I like to, again, going back to, my solitude, I love being by myself, and I do be reading my tarot cards sometimes, but also like, you don't have to do none of that. Like it's really tarot. I do read tarot cards for a living and I do enjoy it. But it's not entirely necessary. It is cool to like have that confirmation, and it is like exciting and it is thrilling, but I've done it so much that like at this point, fuck it. But like that, crystals, like witchery, like I don't know, all the elements, like I don't know, you really just have to put yourself in an environment that is comfortable, that just puts you in a, you know, positive mindset. So like, I don't know, my room's a fucking mess right now, but when it's tidy and looking cute and gorgeous, like I feel like I'm in a better headspace. And then you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna have a good day. It's gonna be a great day. I'm cute. I'm gorgeous. I'm doing the damn thing, and you just fucking do it. But you know, your words are very powerful. Your thoughts are very powerful. So like, if you're constantly telling yourself you can't, or you're being hard on yourself, then you're not going to get the results you want. You have to be your biggest fan. You have to be your biggest supporter. You have to fucking root for yourself, and you have to fucking do it. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions to get where you want to be. And that's just that. But manifestation, a lot of you guys are like, how do I manifest? Where do I start? Right here in your fucking noggin, bitch. Just be like, okay, I want this item. It can be a luxury item. It can be a new house. It could be a new car. It could be a new outfit. It could just be a vacation. Whatever the case may be, you think about it. You envision yourself there. You meditate on it. You tell yourself, this is available for me. It's in store for me. And it just works out. Like, I will call things. I'll be like, oh, this is going to happen. And boom, it happens exactly like that. Like, you don't realize how powerful you really are. Everybody, you, me, and yeah, I can just go on a little tangent all fucking day about manifestation and, you know, all that cutesy pootsy shit. But self-care, it's just different for everybody.
Yeah, it is. And like, for example, me, like I've never really been into, like, we're both into different stuff. I think I'm trying to figure out the word for it. Like, you're more spiritual, right?
Well, see, being spiritual is also different for other people, because the thing about religion, okay, let's have like a little juicy deep
because I don't feel like I don't want to say that I'm religious, but like I've always believed in, like, because it even talks about it in the Bible, like,
well, you are kind of religious. You're Christian.
Well, but no, you're
not one of those Christians, but you do.
I believe in God,
you
and
believe
like
in Jesus,
yeah.
And like I would never tell anybody that that's wrong or like not.
But I don't like when people say like, oh, so you're religious, because that can mean different things.
Well, I think that, okay, that is something that irritates me, because I don't like people like putting people in boxes. And yes, I will admit that there are a lot of nasty Christians out there, especially the Sunday church crowd, when they go fucking out to eat, worst people you'll ever serve in your life. But there's a lot of good Christians out there. So like, if someone says they're religious or someone says they're Christian, don't just go ahead and assume, oh, they're homophobic and this and that and the third.
Right.
Because that's not who you are at all. But you are, I mean, you consider yourself Christian, and you follow Jesus and the Bible. So like, that is kind of religious, but you're not like a Bible beater.
Right.
But I too believe in God. I think religion is so cool because, well, like the idea of religion.
even for example, like when you say manifestation, stuff like that, a lot of times
it's
like
prayer.
But yes, and so a lot of times there's people that don't believe in God and they believe in that. And so to me that's interesting, because like in the Bible it says like, you know, you're supposed to speak positive things, and positive things are supposed to return and stuff like that. So even
what
though
you reap is what you sow.
Yeah. And so even for the people that are like, oh, I don't believe in God, but like they believe in that. So it's like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all the same thing. You know, religion, if you really think about it logically, like every religion is not like the same exact thing, but everybody's religion is based around a deity or a god or a higher power. And there's a set of boundaries and morals and like, you know, guidelines to follow so that you can be promised this eternal, beautiful paradise afterward. And so when you think about religion as a whole and not just Christianity or, you know, this or that, you think of like, okay, what is like, you know, the common ground of all these things? There's a higher power and there is these boundaries, you know, just be a good person, put good out there and it finds you. And so when you think about that, like for me as an individual, I think, okay, cool. Like I don't know that I would say I'm Christian, or I don't know that I would say I'm this. I don't, because I have these different ideas, and like I hear things from different walks of life, and I'm like, that sounds cool. I like that. I like how that sounds. That resonates. And so spirituality for me, it is the same thing what Christianity is for you,
Right?
because like I find peace. Like I do believe in God.
Yeah.
I would never tell somebody Jesus is not real, because I don't fucking know. You don't know. No one knows. It's all about faith, and that's what it comes down to. And so I do believe in a higher power. And if it so happens that when we pass, I'm in the clouds and Jesus is like, hey, this is the life you lived, XYZ. Are you ready to atone? Are you ready to go to serve your life to Christ? Like, girl, I'll be ready. Like, I would never deny the possibility of Jesus Christ, none of that. Like I'm a very open-minded person when it comes to all of that. But for me, it makes most sense for me to just say a higher power, because I don't look at God as a person. Like I don't the textbook version of him, this white man with a beard and everything. I don't when I think of God, I don't think of that. I think of light, just like a ball of beautiful light that brings peace and serenity to us. Like, you have God in you. I have God in me. The trees are God. The air is God. Everything on earth that's made up of atoms is God. Like there's God in everything, because he made it all. And it's just crazy that some people like are completely in denial that there is something bigger than us. Like, where did it start? You know, where did it start? And wow, talking on like religious, the scariest thing to me growing up and like hearing like going to church and everything is like eternity. Does that concept not scare you?
When I was little, that's so weird that you say that, because when I was little, which I don't agree with this, but when me and my mom were living with my grandparents, they would like talk about God all the time. And so, but in a way where it made me have anxiety.
Yeah.
And so I would like go to sleep and have like really bad dreams about like being stuck in the sky and not being able to get out. And it would freak me out. And because I would ask my mom, so when we die and go to heaven, that means we stay up there forever. Something about that would freak me out.
Forever is scary.
So I would just imagine like being in the sky as a kid. Think about a 5-year-old kid being in the sky and being trapped and never being able to get out. It used to freak me out.
Yeah.
But also, the older I got, and, you know, with the experiences that I've been through and the relationship that I have with God, we're not supposed to be scared.
No.
If you have a scared feeling, it's coming from the wrong place.
Yeah.
And if people make you feel like that about religion or God, then don't listen to them. Get away from it. Because there's also a meme or a quote that I saw, and it was like, if the church scared you away, it wasn't from God, which is so true.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to feel fear. It's not like people are like, oh, like sinning and stuff like that. You should not be in fear to sin, because we are born sinners.
And Jesus died for that
sins.
very reason.
So when you think of God, you should never be like, oh, I'm scared, because growing up, that's literally how I felt. I didn't feel peace when I thought about God. I thought about like, oh, I do everything wrong. Like God's going to hate me. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to feel peace. God is supposed to, like, when you make a mistake, you're supposed to feel peace knowing that God still loves you and that you're allowed to sin. Like that's what he died on the cross for. So there's a lot of people that message me and they're like, I feel this way about this. The way that you are taught and the people that you're talking to is whoever's making you feel some kind of fear, it's wrong. It's not from God. It's from a bad place. And you should never listen to that. And so, you know, and there's a lot of people that believe in God. They can disagree with me. That's fine. But I know in my heart that when I think of God or, you know, my higher power, I'm supposed to feel at peace. I'm not going to.
Well, that's
scared.
what the Bible preaches, and that is why I think a lot of people don't like Christianity, because there are those like Bible beating people who are like, oh, it says this, and it's like they all want to fucking cherry pick and point fingers. But the thing is like every one of you who go in there with your Vera Bradley Bible holder and go in there and act like your shit don't stink. Girl, you were cheating on your husband.
But also,
you
those
were
people
stealing
are
when you were a child.
Those people
you
are
did all
miserable.
kinds of fucked up things in your day. So what if I want to suck a little dick? Like, why are you fucking worried about what's going in my holes? My God-given holes. Like, I don't fucking get it. But no, like, you're not supposed to be scared. And like that's I think of like I still think of heaven and hell, which is weird because I don't consider myself Christian, but maybe it's just because of my upbringing. I still, I believe in like yin and yang and, good and bad and balance. And so, there's always good out there, but there's just as much bad in the world. And it just shows. It's on the news. It's everywhere you go. Like you see horrible things happening in the world, but then you look at the trees and you look at a baby and you look at these beautiful sceneries and you're like, wow, this is beautiful. This is God. Like this is God's work. Like look at this child, like watching you hold Greenlee for the first time. Like that's a beautiful sight. Like you're like, this is God. Like God did this. And so it's crazy that like, even though I don't like relate to Christianity necessarily, I still think about like heaven and hell. I don't know what those look like. I don't know what that is, but sometimes I think, okay, maybe earth is hell, like this is hell on earth, and then there's the paradise afterwards. But like when I think of the afterlife, I think of nothing but peace and unity, everyone coming back together, our souls, no pain, no suffering, no starvation.
Go through that in our life.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like this is hell. This is the real hell.
I have said that to so many people.
Hell on earth. I mean, that's what I feel. And, y'all anyone listening can, disagree if they don't feel like that resonates with them. Look, you can believe whatever your heart desires. I would never judge you. But we obviously are on the same page here. And I do feel like this is hell, what we're living through. Because there's just so much trauma and chaos.
Yeah, and even people in my family are like, no, there's a hell. Well, that's cute, Queen. But at the same time, that's why people have this fear in them, because they actually imagine like going to a hell and like burning. Like I don't feel like God would want us to suffer.
He wouldn't. And the thing is that like I said, I'll never deny Christianity, but like let's say since some people really believe that this book is all telling, okay, well it does say in the Bible that Jesus died for our sins. Therefore, there's nothing you can really do in this lifetime that he would turn your back on.
Yeah.
Or turn his back on you for. Like so obviously, I would not encourage anyone to live this horrible life where they're hurting people and, being a bad person. However, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. The devil does get his hold on us, everyone, at some point or another. We've all made mistakes. And we should find peace in knowing that we have unconditional love from a higher power. Whoever that is to you, cool. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not afraid of dying. I honestly, sometimes I'm like, bitch, just take my ass out. Because obviously I would not. I think I'm more scared of leaving the world behind without fulfilling my purpose or leaving my siblings behind more than I'm scared of the act of dying. Like I feel some type of peace with knowing that one day I will die. Like there's people who be like, I want to be 110 years old. Bitch, take me out at 70.
Yeah, yeah.
My fucking balls are going to be so shriveled up and I'm going to be a fucking raisin, bitch. Like, take me out of my misery. I'm going to be 70 years old. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go, bitch. Oh, we got so off topic here. But
that was like really like, I'm so glad that we got that off our chest. Right. A lot of people asked about that too.
Yeah.
And then they've asked us like, how are y'all friends being that you're so different? But really, we're not so different.
We're really not.
We believe in the same thing.
Different. Yeah. Maybe we answer to different people, but like, I don't even know if we do because no one technically knows. It all comes down to faith. So we both believe that there's a higher power. We come from something bigger than us. We both have that. And that's why I'm saying like, people shouldn't be so quick to write off other religions and write off other people's ideas because like, if you think about it, they all are basically the same story, altered slightly.
But also I feel like people, they get worried because they're like, I've never had I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, an awakening or like an experience to show me that like God is real or,
Well, you're also closed-minded to it.
But I also feel like there's a time in everybody's life where it happens. For example, I grew up, my family, very Christian, always going to church. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't like going to church. I fucking dreaded it. I don't like it. I'm not even going to lie. I still do not love going to church.
Yeah.
I just don't. I can learn the same stuff reading in my Bible and talking to God every day that I can in church. Obviously, a pastor or whatever, they might have a better way of explaining it. But like if I want somebody to explain something to me, I call my grandparents or I'll go talk to somebody or do a Bible study. I mean, seriously, everybody, it looks different to everybody. But I just remember growing up and like, yes, I believed in God, but did I feel a closeness with him? Did I think about him throughout my days? Did I pray like I was supposed to? No, I didn't. But every experience that I've had, and there's so many bad experiences that turned to good because of how I see God now. Like me going to prison and all these things happening to me and everything I went through, I am okay with it because that's what got me and where I'm at. But also like I have a better understanding of what God is for me. And so nobody can tell me who God is to me and vice versa. You can't do that. God is different for everybody and you experience at a different time. So for the people that have messaged me that if you have not experienced that, I feel like your time is coming. Everybody is just, you experience it in different ways. But also, like you said, if you're closed-minded to a situation, then that's another thing. Some people have their attitude towards religion and God or your understanding of it. You can be closed-minded and you can be missing. You can be missing what he's trying to show you as well. So,
well, I wouldn't say I've ever been closed-minded, but I wasn't. I was obviously I was kind of skeptical about certain things because I didn't have those experiences yet. And when you're telling yourself like, oh, these people are full of shit when they say things like that, or it's not real, again, back to manifestation, you're kind of manifesting a closed-minded reality for yourself. Like, I remember starting to open my mind up to spirituality. And, when growing up, I was going to, church, and my family was Christian. And so that's all I knew growing up. And so I kind of thought that was it. But once I had a brain to think for myself and I realized there's all these other things, I opened my mind to the idea of a higher power, not necessarily Jesus, but a higher power. And it just made sense. And then I opened myself up to the possibility for these weird experiences. I just started having the light flickering thing. And there's just so many things that I experienced that if I were to explain them or tell them, people would say I was crazy or making it up. So I really do. And I also think a lot of that's very personal. And so I have kind of trained myself to not talk about everything because it's very personal and very intimate. But when you are closed-minded and you're that's not real, then you're not going to experience it maybe. And maybe you won't ever know what that's like. But I will say this. My friend I lived with, my friend Charisse, shout out to you, girl. We used to live together. And she was very closed-minded. Hate to call you out, girl. She was very closed-minded to spirituality. And she was oh, we came from stardust. And we would get in so many fights about where our origin was and where we came from. And it was honestly we were polar opposite in our thinking. And then, one day I read her tarot card. She randomly we lost touch for a while after we moved out of our apartment. And then we kind of came back together and we hung out a few times. And she just changed. Her mindset was completely different. It was beautiful. It was she was open-minded and she was I would love for you to read my tarot cards. And I did. And she was jaw hit the floor, was spot on to what she was going through. And then she started having all these spiritual awakenings. And now she's open-minded to spirituality and a higher power. And so the point being made, when you are closed-minded, you might not experience that.
Right.
But I think it's time for a break, girl.
We'll be right back, guys.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Welcome back.
So we are back, and I'm so glad that our topic kind of went way off because I just feel relieved that we got that off of our chest. But also I wanted to say that while we're on this subject, one of what I like to share that my experiences and my past, and I always thank God for where I am. And I always say that, God is the reason for what I have because I strongly believe that.
Yeah.
And that's my experience. And I have gotten so many comments from people and they'll say, stop giving God the credit, you did it. And I'm okay, for me, I would not have been able to do that without God's guidance. If I did not have God to pray to talk to help me understand things, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So there's been times where I will get offended by comments like that, and I'll call my grandparents and I'm like, I'm so mad that they said that. And they're like, you can't be though. Like everybody has different experiences. And for you, that's your experience. And for them, you know, from whatever they've been through, they might think that they did it all by themselves, and that's okay. But for me, and in every situation that I've been in and my journey and the way that I live my life, I would not have been able to get to where I'm at and to feel the way that I feel today if I didn't have God to look up to.
Well, that I feel like we didn't get too far off topic because that is kind of self-care. You feel like, you know, like tying back into what we said in the beginning, like self-care really is what makes you comfortable, what brings you peace, and God brings peace to you. Spirituality brings peace to me. God brings peace to me too. Like I pray, like I pray to God. I you know, like I do the same things you do. I'm just not sure who I'm talking to sometimes,
right.
But like, no, like when you are open to that, like you'll experience things like, cause I'll ask God for signs. I'll be like, send me a red cardinal if this is in store, or if I need to keep doing this. And lo and behold, there goes that motherfucker flying across my windshield.
Yeah.
So it's like, like that's how you communicate, like, or I communicate with my higher power. Like I have conversations in my head or aloud, whatever the case may be, and I ask for signs and guidance, and I get it. Or like I'll have epiphanies. Like I'll be like looking for the answers, and then, aha, wow, it all makes sense. Everything just starts adding up, and you just have like these epiphanies, like. Because I've never, like, necessarily heard a voice, but I'll hear, like, you know.
But also,
I'll hear, like, things, like, I'll hear messages, but it won't be, like, a voice.
Yeah, usually what I take from that is, like, what you're thinking about, like, in your head.
Yeah, it's like an epiphany.
Like, almost like your intuition.
Yeah.
So, because, yeah, exactly.
But it comes out of nowhere, so it's like,
and
okay,
I think
was this
some
me
people
or was this God?
they'll get that confused of like, well, I didn't hear a voice. Well, I don't necessarily think you are going to hear a voice. It's just,
Tasia,
yeah,
you are on the right path.
Yeah, like no, but like there's been situations too where like I'll do that. I'll be like, give me a sign, and God has given me many of signs.
Yeah.
But like there was something that I saw the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so spot on. It was like, when maybe you're not seeing what you've been praying for because you're not looking hard enough, or you're like not reading in your Bible and stuff like that. I'm not saying, oh, you must read in your Bible every day. No. But like sometimes I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, when is the last time I picked up my Bible? You know, because I have a perfectly good study Bible that I can easily read, just opening it up, you know, just opening it up and being mindful and just reading in it, you know, to give you some kind of peace and praying on it. Because sometimes we pray about stuff and then we totally are missing what we're praying for, you know? So.
But also, I saw this post the other day, and it kind of like, it was like, wow, that's fucking tea. And it said something like, sometimes what didn't work out for you is what really worked out for you. And I was like, damn, that's deep. That's some tea. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you be praying for something. Like, you know, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed that something would work out with me and Mr. Stink. Years and years. And time and time again, he just showed how toxic and how much of a fucking whore he was. And now I'm like,
you have to understand too,
I dodged a bullet.
If he would do that to who he's with now, he would do it to you.
Oh yeah. So I'm like, fuck, I dodged a bullet. And so like, I'm like, okay, maybe that was what God intended. But like, also like if you're stubborn, I feel like God will like not torture you, but like put you through it, you know, until you're like, fuck, like I surrender. Like I hear you loud and clear. Like, let me get it together. And I don't know, but, wow, what a great episode. Self-care, girls. It is whatever brings you peace. If you want to go drop some bands on a Gucci bag, if it brings a smile to your face and makes your heart warm, girl, live your truth. Some people, self-care is donating to charities and taking care of homeless. People are bringing them like food and things like that. Like self-care is different for everyone. There's no like right or wrong way. But for me, self-care is writing and going to spas, my solitude, manifesting, positive thinking, Being out in nature near water is really the biggest thing for me. But also, I love a good miracle tone, a little frequency. 528 is my favorite frequency. Yeah, so if you want to, feel at peace, I love the frequencies. Singing bowls. I don't know. Have I do my singing bowl before? Love it. It like hits you in the heart, girl. You're like, damn, I feel that frequency vibrating my pussy. But yeah, girl. So let's wrap this up with what are your self-care measures?
Definitely for me would be, my relationship with God, because I pray all the time. That's like what I pray every day in my head, like constantly. That's just my thing. And like I said in the beginning, get my nails done, my lashes, my hair. Like I have to feel good in order to
perform good.
Yeah, exactly.
My nails, I would say my nails too. I love my nails, my brows. Girl, brows will transform a bitch's face. When my brows are not done, I don't feel cute.
Right. I mean, I haven't got mine done in a year, but whatever.
But
it's different for everybody.
I don't get my lashes done.
Yeah.
But that brings you so much, confidence. Mm-hmm. My brows, girl, when they're sharp, I'm like.
Because I can fly away. If you're talking to me, beep, 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 flying away.
Toodles.
You know what I'm saying? So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications.
Please.
And thank you for tuning in. We love you guys. See you next week.